Hi there, I'm Unyo Bianaya. I'm a business analyst and strategy consultant, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be sharing the basics of business strategy, a simple practical overview from a course I recently facilitated. Now, this is actually an excerpt from a recorded class, so you may hear other voices in the background. This video is for anyone who's about to launch a new business and needs some pointers to planning and strategy, or you've already started and just need a quick refresher to be sure you're on the right track. You're in the right place. Welcome and let's get started. So you sell perfume also. Obviously, I'm guessing when you started, you probably it came to you that you want to sell perfume oils, and then could you just tell us like what was the first thing you did when you thought of selling perfume oils? Like what was the first few things you did?
Okay, so when I actually decided to start selling perfumes, I think it was just I wanted to do it because I needed extra source of income. So that was
Okay.
the main, yes, that was the main thing. And then I didn't really know much about planning, strategy. All I knew was that, okay, if I just buy perfume, I just advertise it and say, please buy my perfume and all of that, people will buy. So I didn't really take time to actually strategize and plan and all of that.
Okay, all right. So you just knew that you wanted to make extra income and then but I mean, when you started, you obviously had to sit down and write out maybe where you're going to get your perfume from, who are you going to sell it to. You thought about all those things, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I did.
Okay, all right. So when we talk about business strategy is basically just it's similar to planning, but it's just making a plan for your long-term goals and objectives. So, okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so yes, so business strategy is an action plan that you make to achieve your long-term goals and objectives. So you have a plan to start a business. Okay, let's not use you as example. Now, let's just say you want to start selling clothes. You have a plan to sell clothes, and then you're like, okay, I want to sell clothes. Your long-term goals, yes, is to make money, obviously, but at the same time, you're delivering a service. So you're probably thinking that I want to sell clothes to, I want to become the top brand in Nigeria that sells clothes, or in Africa or globally. I want to sell clothes to, maybe you want to sell luxury clothes, or you want to sell thrift. You want to sell thrift clothes. So you want to be the number one thrift plug in Nigeria. And then you have to sit down and plan, okay, what can you do to be able to achieve this goal that that you set up for yourself? What can you do to make sure that you become number one in the market and everybody buys from you and not other people? So that is just simply what business strategy is. It's not anything too complicated or too hard to understand. It's just an action plan to achieve your long-term goals and objectives for your business. That's what business strategy is. And as we're seeing here, why does business strategy matter? Why does it matter that when you want to start a business, when you want to jump on a new business, you don't just enter the business and plan later? Obviously, I know everyone must have heard of if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail, right? So you need to actually sit down and say that, okay, I need to come up with a business strategy for my business, strategy for my business. And why does this matter? It helps to guide your decision making. So if you're selling clothes now and then, you have not sat down to say that the clothes you want to sell is thrift or is luxury clothes, or these are the type of people that you want to sell your clothes to. Maybe you are in a school setting, you want to sell it to students, or you want to sell it to, or something just comes up. So it helps you know what to do next, guiding your decision making. Or let's say even if the clothes you're selling are not available in this region of the world, when you have a strategy, you know the next steps to take in your business. That's one of the reasons why it's good to have a business strategy. Another reason is that it helps to ensure sustainable growth. Sustainable growth just means that your business will not die tomorrow. I know a lot of people have had businesses that decide they by next year or next month the business has closed and it has shut down, and you're like, what happened? Why did your business shut down? Most times they didn't really have a strategy in place for unforeseen circumstances. They were just maybe moving on vibes, right? So having a business strategy will help you prepare for what to do next, what's the next plan, what's the next step, and it helps to ensure sustainable growth. It also helps businesses to stay in competitions in dynamic markets, which just means that if 10 people in this area are doing the same business, what makes your business unique? Your strategy will help you to remain relevant in that market. Your strategy is what will make people to leave seller A and B and come to you. Your strategy is what will make people leave, even like you yourself as a brand, right? If you have a skill that you are selling, for example, you're a graphics designer, and then what makes people to not pick other graphic designers to help them with their designs? What makes them pick you? It's your strategy, it's how you sell yourself, right? It's the action plan that you have put in place and that you are following to make yourself more visible. So that is what business strategy is simply all about. And then for this class, we are talking about the foundations of business strategy and planning. So we're going to be looking at the introduction to business strategy, which we just covered right now. We're looking at business planning versus strategic planning. We'll have some case studies that we're going to look at. We're going to be aligning strategy with mission, vision, and core values. We'll have a Q&A session, and then we're going to have a quick exercise that we're all just going to take together. So for those just joining us, welcome to the first class in this program, that's business strategy and planning. And then my name is Onyo Bianaya, and I'm the one taking the class. So welcome. Thank you for joining. Can you all still hear me? Please just indicate if you can still hear me. All right. Thank you so much. So let's just go on to the next thing that we have. So now we're still in the introduction to business strategy, and just like any concept, there are key elements that make up a business strategy. So when you decide to embark on a new business venture or even an old one that you have, and then you want to, okay, I want to sit down and plan my strategy for this business, right? There are some key pointers that you need to have in your business, so in your strategy, to make it basically a strategy, right? It's like saying a sandwich. What makes a sandwich? Bread, butter, or something of it, but maybe bread, maybe you put lettuce, or you put mayonnaise, you put your beef, you put your tuna or your sardine, the things you basically put to make it whole. So those are what your elements are. And for business strategy, the top is already strategy. And as I defined already, strategy is basically your action plan to achieve your long-term goals and objectives. So that plan that you have designed to achieve your goals is your business strategy. That's the topmost of your pyramid. Next, we have mission and vision statements. So when talking about mission and vision statements, you have the mission. What is your mission statement? Your mission statement just tells us, why do you exist? Why are you doing this? What is the core purpose of this business you're embarking on, right? So let's say, for instance, we're still using the analogy of like you want to sell clothes, right? You're shopping and you want to be like a top seller of clothes in your region. So your mission can be, you want to provide affordable, you want people around this way to provide affordable clothes to everyone around. That can be your mission. That is why you are doing what you do. Now, you always have to come at it from what is the core function of the whole setup, right? Why do you exist? Just have that like as your key statement. Why do you exist? Whenever you're planning your mission statement. And then your vision statement is more or less, where do you see your business going to? You know, that kind of thing, maybe when you're out and someone asks you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? So that is asking you for, what is your vision? What is the vision for your business? Where do you see your business going to? In this same setting of, okay, now we have a mission statement of creating affordable clothing for people. Your vision could be that you are the top seller of affordable clothes to people in the world, or in Africa or in Nigeria. That is your vision, to become the top seller. That everybody, when time and you go out or anybody wants to buy clothes, the first person that comes to their mind is you for buying those clothes. So that can be your vision statement. The next key elements we have in business strategy is competitive advantage. Competitive advantage, as the name suggests, just means that what is that one unique feature or one unique skill or one unique aspect of your business that gives you an edge over others in the business, right? What is that one thing that people know for people? Anytime people want to like, they just know that this business, this particular business, this is what they have against other businesses. That's your competitive advantage. And for any business strategy that you're coming up with, you need to have a competitive advantage. Another thing is resource allocation. Resource allocation is telling us that how do you plan to divide your resources for this business? Resources can come in the form of money, maybe the money that you make from the business, or the money that you're going to use, the capital you're going to set up your business, how you're going to divide the capital. It can come in time, it can come in staff, it can come in a lot of things. The resources that you're basically using to achieve your business goal. So the resources, let's say money now, you can say that, okay, I'm going to use 40% of the money I make for expenses, for operating costs, for the cost of meeting my suppliers to purchase new clothes for my business. I'm going to resell. 40% of the money is going to be used for that. You can use 20% of the money for advertising, for running ads. You can use another 20%. Maybe you've grown to the point of having some staff. You can put another 20% for paying staff. You can divide it like that. You can say that, okay, resources like how do you want to run your store? Is it going to be an online store? Is it going to be open 247, or is it going to be open maybe just from 9 to 5? Is it going to run weekends? It's not going to run weekdays? Is it going to be a seasonal shop? So how you divide your resources and your time management and rest, they are all resources. The staff you have, the even your location. Maybe you have a physical branch and how you want to divide the branch and say that, okay, we'll use the branch for this at so and so time, for so that and so and so time. We'll come back and have like monthly meetings on this day. This day is going to be open for customers to work in. That's what resource allocation is all about. Then the last thing we have is goal setting, how you set your goals. So another thing to notice is that as we're looking at this pyramid, right, it's getting bigger. It was very small in the beginning. It was just the strategy that was on top. That was like one statement that we had, and then we've been going down. So for your goal setting now, this is like the main point of the business, right? This is when like you are into the business, right? You are setting your goals. And it's a plural thing. It's not just one goal. When it comes to goal setting, it's good to have at least a minimum of like 3 goals for your business, right? So these are things that you want to achieve. Your goals will help you to determine your objectives. Goals and objectives are actually two different things, right? And when it comes to goal setting, I don't know how many of you have heard of this analogy, SMART analogy. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And what it basically means is that for every goal you set, right, your goals have to be specific. Your goals should not be ambiguous. It should not be too broad. You should narrow it down to one particular thing. Your goals should be measurable. They should be achievable. They should be relevant to your business. When it talks to relevance, now let's say you are into this shopping business, right? Into selling of clothes. You cannot have a goal that says that, okay, in the first quarter of 2025, I want to get like 10 influencers to come and sing songs for my about like it has to relate to selling clothes. It should not be out of the box. It should still relate to what you are doing. It should be specific. It should be that, okay, in the first quarter of 2025, I want to sell 10 clothes. I want to sell 20 clothes. It should be measurable. If it's 10 or 20 and you achieve just 5 or 7, you can measure it and say that, okay, did I meet up to what I planned or I did not meet up to it? You can measure it. If you just say that I want to sell a lot of clothes, a lot of clothes is not specific, it's not measurable. It's not tangible, right? It is very broad. A lot of clothes, to me, a lot of clothes can be just 2. To you, it may be 5, it may be 10 to another person. So there's no way to measure it. So it has to be measurable. It has to be achievable. looking at the resources that you have. Do you have enough resources? Do you have enough clothes in stock that you can make up to 10 sales? Do you have enough staff to help you to distribute your clothes? Do you have enough, basically your resources, is it achievable? Is it something that you know that if you actually put things in place it can be achieved? Because some people can just set a goal that's like, maybe you just started a business today, right? Today you started a business today, and your goal is to make 10,000 sales, which is not impossible, but then you have to look at what you have, what you are working with. Are the things you are working with going to make this goal achievable, or is it just a big dream that you have that's just a dream? And then it should be time bound. If you remember, I was seeing a lot of things like Q first quarter of 2025, second quarter of 2025. That is like in the next 3 months, in the next 4 months. So you should actually try to make your goals to have a time limit, right? They shouldn't just be that I want to sell 10 clothes. Okay, when do you want to sell the 10 clothes? Because you can sell 10 clothes in one day, you can sell it in 5 years. It should be time bound. So when setting your goals, you have to make sure that they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So these are some of the key elements. There are actually other elements involved in business strategy, but these are some of the key elements that we're going to be discussing for today. Another one that is not here is core values. So core values is something that most businesses neglect, right? That's, you can see it's not in this pyramid. It's more or less, it's like, let's say, as a human being now, they will tell you that you're made of like body, spirit, and all of that, right? So your physical aspects, right? Let's just say your physical aspects, these things I just listed now, your physical aspects, then like your spiritual or emotional, anyone you want to use, right? The unseen aspect of your business. That's what core values are. Because you can't see core values. You can't really put a face or a picture to core values. Core values are just things that guide your business, right? You can say something like accessibility. Accessibility as a core value means that you're always going to be accessible. If you have accessibility as a core value, you're looking at saying that people can always reach you. Because there are some businesses that once it's so and so time, you can't reach out to them again. And even if you send a message, they may not even reply you again. If you say your core value is accessibility, it means that you should always be able to be accessed. It should be easy to access you, even if you're not available 247, but it should be easy to access you. If you say your core value is integrity, it means that you always do your business with, in a sense of, you have a sense of integrity, a sense of honesty, right? You're not going to cheat someone or scam someone in your business. You say your core value is accountability. That means that even if a product goes bad or something goes wrong in your business, you can do a refund if you know the fault is from you. You take accountability of actions that go on in your business. Or if somebody sold something to a customer that was not good, or somebody was overcharged, or maybe person who sent more money than person who sent for a product, you take accountability for that. So that's another part of the elements of business strategy that we'll be looking at. Sorry, am I too fast? I just want to know, are we all following? Because I don't want to go too fast. I want everybody to follow through with this currently. Okay, everybody is still with me, right? Yes, we're still with me. Okay. So now let's put it all together. What we just spoke about, let's put it all together. Let's imagine that
Yeah.
okay. All right. Let's imagine that we want to open a coffee shop, right? We want to open a coffee shop like a mini Starbucks, and then that focuses on sustainability. So we can call this shop maybe Onye's coffee shop. So what's our strategy for opening this coffee shop? Our strategy is that we want to focus on sourcing sustainable beans, offering organic coffee, and using eco-friendly packaging. So this is an action plan. Our plan is to use sustainable beans for our products. Sustainable beans, no coffee, you use coffee beans to make coffee. So they're saying that they want to use sustainable beans, offer organic coffee, because there are lots of things that people are make chemically made products. So organic coffee is just saying healthy products and eco-friendly packaging. based on climate change and all of that. So that's what your strategy for this new coffee shop you're opening. You want it to focus on just selling sustainable beans, offering organic coffee, and using eco-friendly packaging. That's your strategy. That's your action plan for your long-term goals and objectives. Your objective is to sell organic coffee and use eco-friendly packaging. Now, what is your mission? Your mission is to serve customers high quality, sustainable coffee. You don't want to just sell them anything. You want to serve them high quality, sustainable coffee. Does this answer why were you created? Why do you exist? You exist to serve customers high quality, sustainable coffee. That's the mission statement here. The vision statement is to be the leading eco-friendly coffee brand globally. You want to be the top eco-friendly coffee brand all over the world. That is the vision you have for the future. It may not start now, it may not start today or tomorrow, but what you see yourself accomplishing in the next 20, 10, 15 years is that you're going to be the leading brand for selling eco-friendly coffee globally. What is your competitive advantage? What sets you apart from others? You're going to partner with local organic farmers to provide unique, high quality coffee blends. That is your competitive advantage. Maybe others get their own from manufacturers or from wholesalers, but you now, your own advantage is that you're going to partner directly with people that create it, with the source of it, that is local farmers. And since they are local farmers, you can be sure that what you're actually getting is organic and it's not produce. That's why you have a competitive advantage. Resource allocation. You'll be investing in eco-friendly packaging, employee training, and marketing to attract environmentally conscious customers. So how are you going to distribute your resources? You're going to spend your money on investing in getting eco-friendly packages. That means you're not going to buy things that are plastic, probably things that are made with paper or things that can be recycled. Those are the type of package you're going to invest your money in. You're going to invest in employee training, training your employees or your staff on how to serve customers and how to even mix the coffee. And then marketing, you're also going to spend some of your money and time on marketing to inform people that your shop exists. So this is how you sell your things. So you're going to put some of your resources into marketing. So those are your resource allocation. Then for goal setting, increase sales by 15% over the next year through seasonal offerings and loyalty program. This is one or two goals. This is three goals because you're saying you want to increase sales by 15% over the next year. So is this goal smart? This goal has a specific, it's saying you're increasing your sales by 15%. It's measurable in the sense that if you have, if you sold, you're just starting a new business, right? So it can even be that this is like, this 15% is 15 sales, or maybe you've already sold 10. 15%, you just add 15% of 10, which is like 1.5, which is just like one extra person. Yeah, but basically it's measurable, it's achievable based on your business. It's time bound because you said you want to achieve this in the next 1 year. You're giving yourself a time frame in the next 1 year. Now, from this first goal, you already gotten two extra goals. How do you want to achieve it? Through seasonal offerings. So every season you'll be offering something extra, and through loyalty programs. You're going to be running loyalty programs for your customers that come over a lot. You're going to, okay, someone's hand is off. Okay, hi, Chineke, you can speak. Can you hear me?
I speaking up.
Okay, all right, no problem.
Very
Okay,
sorry.
let's go on. So basically, we've been able to create our business strategy for our coffee shop with this point. We've been able to create a business strategy for our coffee shop. So we're not going to start this coffee shop without knowing what we're going into. We have a mission statement that is guiding us. We know that anything that we want to do, any goal that we are setting, it has to be that we're providing our customers with high quality, sustainable coffee. We have a vision. Our vision is to become the leading eco-friendly coffee brand. So that means whatever goal we are making, whatever goal we are coming up with is leading towards becoming the leading coffee brand. So we're going to invest in, we have a competitive advantage by sourcing local organic farmers, By doing that, everybody already knows that anytime they drink coffee from us, this coffee is probably coming directly from the coffee beans coming from the farm. So that means it's fresh coffee. Well, they're not giving us chemically made coffee. We have brought out money that we're going to put into marketing. Marketing can be both online marketing or even physical marketing. So you can have people that will go for marketing. So you have money you brought out for marketing, just so that people can know you as, and you can get to your main goal of becoming the leading eco-friendly brand globally. And then you set your goals. So this is basically a business strategy that we have come up with like this. So I hope we're all following. All right, so what we have next is you've gotten your strategy, right? You've gotten your business strategy. And as you said, this strategy is just an action plan. So it's obviously a plan that we're working on. Now, we have what we call a business plan and a strategic plan. So sometimes people mix it. So you can be going to meet an investor, you're going to go and pitch a new product, and they can ask you for your business plan, not your strategic plan. Your strategic plan is something that is long term, it's futuristic. You are looking at the big picture, right? And then your business plan is more or less on your operations, how you're going to run your business day by day. You have your strategic plan that aligns your resources with your vision, and you have your business plan where you talk about things like budgeting and forecasting. So your business plan is more short term and it's practical. When I say practical, I mean that it's something that you probably show your staff, right? You have staff meetings, or even if it's just only you that's running the business, something that you can work on day, or even on a monthly basis. If you're a social media manager, you have a content plan, a content calendar for a month. That calendar you have made for that month is basically more or less is like your business plan for the month. Your strategic plan is something that you made that okay, by the end of this year, by the end of this quarter, by the end of in the next 5 years, what do you want to achieve as a social media manager? What do you want to become as a social media manager? That's your strategic plan. It is long term, it is futuristic, it is when you talk about people that are like idealists and realists, like people that see big, they don't really know how they're going to get there yet, but that's what they want. That's your strategic plan. It has to do more with your things like your vision statement, your mission statement. Those are things that you fall under your strategic plan. But your business plan is more or less how you're going to divide your money right now. Things like your resource allocation is so in your business plan. They have, when you're making these plans, they can have like similar content, but there are things that separate them, which are things that are highlighted here. Strategic plan has to be long term. It cannot be something that is just for a short period of time. Your business plan is the one that is a short period of time, day-to-day operations. For this month, what are we going to do? Next month, what are we going to do? Okay, something may be wrong in this. You have your contingency plan, like if something goes wrong here, what can we do? If supplier A is not available, do we have a backup supplier? Do we have someone else that we can call to bring something for us? Those are things that will be in your business plan. Things that you come up with when you come up with like things that may spoil your business, unforeseen circumstances, those are things in your business plan. But in your strategic plan, you just have things that like in the next 5 years, I want to be the top person in Abuja region, the whole of Abuja. I want my shop, I want to open like 15 shops in Abuja, or what am I saying? You want to open a branch in all 36 states in Nigeria. That is your strategic plan, right? So it is bigger and it's bigger, but those tiny details that you need and your business plan. And as I wrote it here, the key difference between the two is that business plan is managing for today, and strategic plan is shaping the future, thinking about the future, where you want to, what do you want to achieve in the future. That's your strategic plan.